Good morning. It is Saturday, February 3rd, and I am doing my 1 month marker video. It is 10 o'clock in the morning and 50 degrees right now, and I have been working on cleaning up much of the garden, pulled out a lot of the debris and a lot of the dead stuff now. I just sheared back the lavender. Typically I shear it back to 1 to 2 inches. This year I think it's getting old enough that if I had sheared it back more, it probably would have died back, but it is to the point where I need to start considering replacing it anyway. But for this year, I left it a little higher. And the boxwood topiary I planted recently is looking good. Lots of new growth here. And as I pointed out in the past, the poppies in the yard are looking, or on the retaining wall technically, I guess, are all over the place here. And all the green weedy stuff in here is also California poppies. We got a lot of rain the last couple weeks and we continue to get rain, so there's some projects that have gone undone because our ground is clay. If you start digging in the soil, you're just going to end up in a muddy mess. So I haven't done any plant moves at this point. Oh my gosh, look at this. Can you see this? There are blooms or buds about to break on the cotton candy apium. This might be a really good sign because remember, I didn't get any last year because the tree was too young or not healthy enough. So I'm excited because the circle area is looking pretty good. It's kind of cleared out as we prepare for spring right now. Got some yellow bearded iris and some daffodils coming in right now. It is the beginning of February, so things are coming in quick. It's going to be beautiful over here. I need to come up with a few more evergreen options for this space for next year. I don't really know what they're going to be, but that's on my mind. I do plan on moving these two guys further back, and I think I'm going to put some echinacea here instead. Here's a question for you guys. I have that pretty and pink Eden rose, climbing rose on this side. And I originally had a second one on this side, but it didn't do very well. Plus they were two different roses when I got them home or when they bloomed. So I took the other one back because I didn't want a second rose that didn't match the first one. So I'm trying to decide what I should put here because this side of the arbor doesn't get as much sun. So it would need to be something that's actually pretty shade tolerant, even during the summer, but could take a blast of heat in the afternoon. So I'm curious what your thoughts are. This area next to the arbor where I had the foxgloves and I spread the foxglove seed throughout the area has really worked well. There are so many in here. I need to figure out how to separate them. Look at all of those. I think they're foxgloves anyway, but they are everywhere. I also want to give you a quick update on the flower box redesign. The pansies are doing fine. They're just a winter substitute. I did plant some sweet pea seeds here early in the fall. I only got 2, so I'll probably start some seeds inside later. We know we have some good microbes going on because we got a little piece of fungus here growing. I think this might actually start taking shape this spring as we start adding the rest of the pieces to this space. Still not fully formed in my mind as far as what I'm going to do based on my inspiration piece, but it's starting to come together. Oh, and I saw the most amazing climbing rose on an arbor like this or a trellis like this the other day. If I am successful with that rose over there, I might try growing a climbing rose on this guy. We'll see. The vegetable garden is looking pretty sad. Not much has developed in here. I've got the onions and the spinach, but nothing else came up. And then I forget the name of this guy. It's some sort of invasive bulb that came up in the yard several years ago that I've tried to dig up a number of times, and apparently it grew up right up through the bed. Now, I did see a bunch of leaf hoppers in this area the other day. I treated with some neem oil in the evening, but I suspect I still have quite a bit of issue going on here. Yep, I can see them jumping off. I don't know if you can see them, but well, you know what? Maybe it worked because there aren't as many in here. This is the last of my vegetable garden right here, the snap peas and a few more onions. That is a Japanese maple coming up. This tree behind me has all those little helicopter seeds and they come up all over the yard. So what I end up having is Japanese maple trees, sprouts, what are they called? Seedlings? Japanese maple seedlings come up all over the yard. And of course the limelight hydrangea, I cut back a little bit of it and I put some separator blocks. I don't know how much the wood can crisscross, but I was trying to get the wood to harden maybe a little further apart. Anyway, I need to trim the rest of it back and get it ready for spring. There are a lot of buds forming here. They aren't quite swollen yet, but it's time to cut this back. The last little area of the garden is right here, the square that we recently redid. It's coming along. I've cut everything back, as I've pointed out before. This particular pot we're trying to decide what to do with. I don't think we want it here. We don't think it's enough of a statement piece for this space, but I don't really have anything else in mind at this point, so it may stay for another year. Anyway, I think that does it for today's tour of the garden. Thank you for joining me for my garden journey, and we'll see you in the next one.